I'm Robson Green, and I'm on the fishing adventure of a lifetime. Traveling to some of the most remote and exciting places on the planet. Welcome to Brazil.
How many people get to come to a place like this?
South America's largest and most sprawling landmass, Brazil is home to the world's most iconic rainforest and river system. It's not what you would call a smooth ride. With fresh water filled with the most frightening and phenomenal fish on Earth, Brazil is in a league of its own.
Whoa, my goodness!
I traveled deep into jungles and wetlands to fight with prehistoric monsters. That is not a fish. Discover a frightening fish with fierce fangs. What a fish! I'll hook up with an indigenous tribe to fish a sacred lake. I think it's all gonna kick off any second. And go all out for the Amazon's ultimate ambush predator. A fish I have only seen in pictures. A wolfish. Yeah. Oh, great take. This is a big fish we got on! These are my toughest fishing adventures yet. Look at that fish! Yes, so I'm off to Brazil. And you're probably thinking right now, oh, he's going to talk about soccer, samba, and beautiful beaches. Well, I'm not, because A, you've heard it all before, and B, where I'm going to cast a line, that sort of thing just doesn't exist. I'm traveling almost 10,000 kilometers to western Brazil and the state of Mato Grosso. This is Brazil's Wild West, home to cowboys and indigenous Indians. It's taken me nearly 2 days to get this far in Cuaba. Got another half day's travel as I'm heading deep into Brazil's vast and diverse river system. Mato Grosso literally means thick wood, and this sparsely populated land is home to just over 3 million people, sharing an area 4 times the size of the UK. Home to the largest variety of fish on the planet. Over 4,000 species to choose from. And to put that into some kind of perspective, that's more than twice the number in the whole of the Atlantic Ocean. And Brazil is home to a terrifying ambush predator with the ability to breathe air and walk on land. The wolfish of the Amazon basin. My first destination is southwest of Mato Grosso, right on the border with Bolivia, and is one of the most biodiverse areas on the planet, the Pantanal, the world's largest wetland. Its flora and fauna make it the ideal home to a dense array of animals. Over 700 species of birds. The largest parrot on the planet. I give you the hyacinth macaw. 100 species of mammals. I gotta keep reminding myself that this is not a zoo. Over 80 different reptiles. And of course, these waters are teeming with an unbelievable variety of fish. You know, in the Pantanal, everywhere you look, there is wildlife. There's birds, caiman, oh, and of course the jaguar. But I came to this part of the world for one reason and one reason only. To catch a feline of a different kind. A giant catfish. On my journey to catch the wolf, I'm starting with a cat. And not just any cat, one of the largest underwater predators of the Pantanal. This is the mighty Jau, a prehistoric monster that can grow up to 90 kilograms. Highly aggressive, the Jau relies on its sheer weight and bulk for power, like a sumo wrestler on steroids. Today we are fishing the Rio Cuaba, one of the main arteries crossing through the Pantanal. It's the height of the dry season, perfect for fishing, because low water means hungry fish. My guides today are Mosquito, a catfishing expert who has spent his entire life on these waters, and Cowboy, Eduardo Falcao. Mosquito, why do you love fishing so much?
Por que você ama pescar?
Eu nasci e criei na beirada do rio.
Because he was born next to the river and his father is fisherman.
So your mother gave birth to you on the water?
Sim.
Wow. So you were born to fish?
Yes.
That's amazing.
Você nasceu para pescar.
So we're using live bait. And the fish on the end of this line will be sending out distress signals that the catfish will pick up on. So I'll give this bait a launch out in front of me and let's see what happens. Now here's a fact for you. 1 in every 4 freshwater fish and 1 in every 10 fish in the world is a catfish. Well, that was a very, very good inquiry, and I think we are in. You just lean into the bite. First cast, and I have something. I've got a feeling it's not a giant. Let's see what we've got on the end here. Whatever it is, it's taken my line on a merry dance. It's a jiao, a very, very small jiao, but still a very, very nice fish. Whew, not bad for a first cast. Let's have a look at you, matey. Now, when you come to this part of the world as an angler, you're gonna come across an extraordinary creature like this. Now, the jiao can grow up to an extraordinary 2 meters in length, so I've caught the baby here. What I need is the mum and dad. Well, that's a great start. First cast, they're here. Good spot, mosquito. And I think mosquito's in as well. Now, Brazil is famed for lots of things, but there is no more famous fish in this entire land than the one mosquito has just hooked. Every angler's nightmare around here, unless you're going for yellow-bellied piranha. I think there'll be a lot of these today. Ferocious and deadly, with teeth like a bear trap. Once the piranha smells blood, it's game over. Just check out the teeth at the front end. The shredding machine of Brazil. And just to give you an idea of how voracious these predators are, just look under the mouth there. As that fish was coming up, another piranha decided to take a chunk out of it. That's friends for you, eh? There you are, just swimming about, and you come up on our boat and they take a bite out of you. There you go, mate. There you go. He's away. Right. Come on, let's get a big one. That's better. Here we go again. Let it take the bait, let it take it away, let it swallow it, then just ease into the strike, just like that. There you go. That's how you do it. Moving very, very quickly. Come on. Piranha. It's not often I'd be unhappy catching 2 fish in 2 casts, but I didn't travel all this way for a piranha. Man, that is the stuff of angling nightmares. I think, Mosquito, we're gonna have to move. Too many piranha. Yeah? I think so, yeah. They're just taking our bait. Kicked out of our spot by Brazil's aquatic bailiff, we head downriver in search of catfish, but stumble upon a feline of a different kind. There's a sight you don't see every day, isn't it? One of the rarest animals on the planet, the jaguar, right in front of me here. The jaguar truly is the king of the Pantanal, and this is one of the best places in the world to see this incredibly rare cat. Eduardo, do the jaguar sometimes feed at the bank here?
Always they are near the riverbank looking for caimans and the capybaras to eat.
Oh, great. A jaguar could appear here at any minute, and the only thing I can do is to dive in there, a piranha-infested river. While Mosquito and Eduardo get off the boat to prepare a lunch fit for a carnivore, I decide to try to extend the menu to include something fishy. I'm in. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's not a fish. That is not a fish. The thing on the end of the line has got teeth, but it ain't a piranha. I think I've caught myself a caiman, and not many fishermen can say that. Right. How'd you play? He's off. So that's what a caiman does to 50-pound braid. Thank goodness I didn't get on board, because I wasn't very happy. Just snapped through it, took my bait. There's no piranha. I think we'll just stick with beef. It's 5 p.m. The temperature is cooling, which means the large Zhao should wake from their heat-imposed lethargy and be on the hunt for dinner.
If I've said it once, I've said it a million times. We've got about an hour's light left. It's now or never. It's the last chance Catfish Saloon. That temperature has dropped dramatically, dropped about 10 degrees. That means the water's cooling as well. And hopefully, the Zhao will now want to feed. It's just about right. It's dinner time for the catfish. Wow! Wow! Good fish?
Ah, good fish. Look.
Be careful you don't snap that rod. My goodness, the bite has switched on.
I think it's 20 kilos.
Don't panic, Eduardo. It's the worst thing you could do. I think it's a catfish, and I think it's a Zhao, by the way it's fighting. It's quite a dull and deliberate fight. Very, very nice fish, Eduardo. What a beauty. Well done, Eduardo. You have a very nice 10-kilo Zhao there. And as you can see, life underneath this boat ain't a barrel of laughs for a lot of the fish here. There's been a few chunks taken out of this fish. Now in the north, this fish is despised as an eating creature. They just don't serve it up in restaurants. But in the south here, they love it. It's a bit of a delicacy, and you'll find it on a lot of menus in many restaurants around the area. They can grow up to 2 meters. There's been reports of fish 4 times the size of that. There's stories abound in this part of the world of this creature snapping young children off riverbanks as they're washing their hands or bathing. Not sure if I believe it, but they're just stories. Oh, well done, Eduardo.
Yeah.
Great fish.
And with that, my time in Brazil's amazing and wild Pantanal is over. And while there's nothing more frustrating than standing next to a guy catching a big fish, it's been a good chance to acclimatise before I head north to take on a fierce fanged fish and do battle with the wolf of the Amazon basin. Next stop, I'm travelling 900 kilometres northeast to the town of Canarana on the outskirts of Xingu National Park, a protected reserve for indigenous Brazilian tribes. I'm hooking up with a bush pilot and expert fisherman Gilson Rocha, a Canarana local who has recently made his home in the Xingu
Gilson, bon dia.
because of his love of wild fighting fish.
There's only one way to travel. You're the pilot.
Yeah.
Look forward to it.
From here, we have a 35-minute flight to Gilson's own private fishing Idaho.
So, not only is Gilson a fine, charismatic fisherman, he's also a bloody good pilot. And he's made his home in the Xingu Park. Not only because it's beautiful, but if you want to catch extraordinary, ferocious, and phenomenal fish, it really is the place to be. It's not what you would call a smooth ride. Because of the time of day, it's so hot underneath us. We have these violent thermals, these upwellings of hot air. The pressure changes are very dramatic at this height. And boy, can you feel it. Oh, Gilson spotted it. It's a track in the middle of the forest. You've heard the saying, flying by the seat of your pants? I think I may need to change mine by the end of this. Go on, son, you can do it. Good. He just went good. But there was a massive exhalation of relief in his voice. I'm talking hysterical. I need to get out this plane. Let's go and cast a line for a nice, dramatic fish. Whew. Made it. I love terra firma.
Feet firmly on the ground, we wait for Gilson's son Eduardo to take us on the last leg of our journey to the river.
That car looks like it's driving itself. Yeah. Is anybody driving it? Am I getting older, Jilson, or the driver's getting younger? My name is Robson.
Edward.
Hey, Eduardo.
Are you sitting in a hole or are you just a little fella? Hey? How old are you, Eduardo? 13? You can drive? Good lad. Nice pull away. Very good. Yes, mirror, signal, maneuver.
Yeah.
That's it, get it in. Any gear will do. As long as it goes forward. Perfecto. Excellent. And 13-year-old Eduardo not only drives the car, he drives the boat. The speedboat. Today we are fishing the Culinay River, a tributary of the Xingu River, and these waters are Amazonian.
I envy Eduardo and his dad. I mean, what an incredible fishing location. We've been traveling for about 30 minutes. Not a soul in sight. So that tells me a few things. There's no pressure on the water. The fish probably haven't seen humans in a while. And thirdly, probably haven't seen a lure or a fly. So I've got a feeling the fishing could be extreme.
And while the conditions are an angling dream, the fish we are targeting is the stuff of nightmares. Known as the cachorra in Brazil, this is the vampire fish, and it lives up to its fearsome name with a fearsome reputation as one of the Amazon's most aggressive predators. With needle-sharp lower fangs that can grow up to 6 inches in length, this fish attacks its prey, puncturing internal organs before devouring them at frightening speeds.
Okay, the target we're after, the cachorra, because it's a fast, frenetic fighting fish, it requires 2 things in order to power that ballistic movement. It requires food, and there's an abundance of bait fish in the current in front of me here, and it requires oxygen in order to move fast through the water. And with the current, it's moving against rocks, and there's a lot of oxygen in the water. So hopefully, they'll go after what we're presenting. I'm going to go with an artificial lure with a beak on, take it under the water, and the 2 guys are using bait.
The cachorra is a fantastic fighter and a real taste of how aggressive the fish can be in these incredible waters.
Okay, let's go. Goodness gracious, Jilson. I don't think your bait's big enough. It's bigger than your rod. Oh, yeah. Whoa, good take. First cast, wallop. Right place, right time of day, with the right people, wallop. Come on, Robson. It's come off. Oh. Cachorra. Ay, ay, ay. Damn it. Oh, they're here. Good fish. Good fish. Don't know why I'm high-fiving you. I lost it.
With the sun beginning to set, we are hitting the best time of day to catch cachorra.
Not too hot, not too cold. And the fish we're after, like a water temperature in the mid-20s. And that's what we've got here. He's got an inquiry. Go on, Jilson. Get ready to strike that rod. Oof. You in? Yeah. Cachorra? Oh, good. It's come off. You'll find that when you're fishing for cachorra. 8 times out of 10, you're going to lose the fish. It's the way you strike as well. You don't strike up immediately. Strike to the side. They have very bony mouths. You'll get it. You'll get it, Jilson. Don't be downhearted. I know the feeling. Eduardo, por que você gosta de pesca?
Olha, eu pesco desde criança, desde pequenininho, na verdade, desde recém-nascido. Quando eu nasci, já fazia 2 meses que eu nasci, já vim pescar.
Basically, he just loves being outdoors with his dad. That's what he's just said. Loves the surroundings like his dad. Loves the wildlife like his dad. Loves fishing like his dad.
And you can see why Eduardo and Jilson love this spot. It's an angler's paradise. But in angling nirvana, you need fish. And so far, we have struck out.
Are you in, Eduardo? You show me and your dad how you do it. Good lad. Playing it beautifully. Oof, got a good fish on there. It's making a lot of runs. Sometimes they jump, so be careful. They have big fangs. Whoa, my goodness! What a fish, Eduardo! What a fish! Look at that. Calm as a cucumber. No histrionics like me. Just knows what he's doing. Oh my goodness, you've got a beautiful fish there. Oh my goodness!
Nossa.
Eduardo! Played it like a maestro. Now, Eduardo here has just put me and Jilson to shame because you played that perfectly. Congratulations. And what a beautiful specimen of a cachora. Inglese?
Huh?
Vampire fish.
Vampire fish?
Or Dracula fish. One of the reasons why this is such a fast, frenetic feeding fish is because of the design, the hydrodynamics. It's long, it's lean, it's compressed, and that means it moves incredibly efficiently in the water. I want you to know where this fish gets its name from, and it's at the front end there, those fangs, and they can grow up to an incredible 6 inches in length. And should this fish snap one off, there's another one to replace it in an instant, just waiting there like a spring. You want it extreme? Well, I'll give you extreme. Eduardo, 13 years old. He drove us here, he drove the boat here, and he caught this here. Now that's extreme.
And unlike Transylvania, when the sun sets, the vampire bite turns off. So we head home. I've had 2 fishing trips in Brazil, and I'm yet to land a big fish. I'm starting to worry because in a little over 2 days' time, I'll be going head-to-head with the mighty Wolfish. But before that, I'm traveling further into the Xingu and right into Brazil's tribal heartland to learn how important fishing is to the people of this area. The national park is home to approximately 6,000 indigenous people and 16 ethnic groups.
And I'm meeting up with the Waura tribe, who live and fish like they did centuries ago.
First discovered in 1884, the Waura tribe inhabit the area of the Upper Xingu River around the Payuluga Lake, which can literally be translated as fishing camp. Music to this angler's ears.
How many people get to come to a place like this? Hi, guys.
Approximately 350 Waura inhabit this village.
There are many traditions and rituals that I have to respect here, so first things first, I have to meet the leaders and elders of the tribe and get their permission to go fishing and obviously stay here.
I'm here to see how the indigenous people of the Xingu fish for food and how important fishing is to Waura culture.
Oh, they've all got wary looks on their faces. You'll grow to like me. Hello.
The Waura speak Arawak Indian, and I've been asked to introduce myself.
So my name is Robson Green, and I'm from a wonderful part of the world called Newcastle upon Tyne, and I'm known as a Geordie. That was unexpected.
The Waura like to whoop and holler to lift the atmosphere and keep everyone's spirits up.
That's a good idea. I'll take that back home. You know, if everybody's just feeling down, just suddenly go, woo, woo, woo. Woo, woo, woo.
This is the chief of the village, a Payupika. And while they forbid alcohol, they do like to smoke tobacco.
Purely to be polite. Oh, dear me. That's just paper. Hey, yeah, it's a cheeky little number, then, isn't it? They just asked me, so were you with a lady last night? And I went, yes. Thinking they were going, do you like fishing? I just said yes to everything. And that cigarette, bad for... Woo, woo, yeah. Shall we go fishing? Ready? Let's go. Excellent.
The Waura economy is based on fishing, hunting, and horticulture. Fishing involves a large group of men and boys and is a highly organized and well-drilled activity.
fishing spot. Woo! Woo! Doesn't feel like a fishing trip with all the whooping and hollering and the bows and the arrows. Feels like I'm going into battle.
The plan is to take a large net and fish a corner of this lake for as many fish as we can find, because whatever we catch needs to feed the tribe tonight.
We can catch matrinsia, which is the most popular fish in this lake, and it's their main source of protein. We could also catch tucanare, the peacock bass, and of course the piranha. So as we're closing the net in, cornering the fish, guy up ahead there is scaring the fish by banging a paddle on the surface of the water, and that shocks the fish and scares them towards our net.
Everybody knows their place across this lake and what their role is, irrespective of age. And the idea is to pull the net to the shore, taking with it as many fish as possible.
I think it's all going to kick off any second. Those fish are going to start moving. As I said, we're going to get a variety of species today. It's all kicked off. Got this beautiful species never seen before or heard of. It's called corimba. And look at that extraordinary mouth on that fish. Beautiful, silvery, scaly looking fish. And good eating, according to the Waura.
The Waura fish like this approximately once a week, with the spoils shared throughout the village. And what they don't eat right away, they salt and keep for later.
It's not the biggest peacock bass you'll ever see, but that is very, very good table fare. About a kilogram in weight. And that eye on the caudal fin gives this character away. You have the 3-bar peacock bass, you have the 3-spotted peacock bass, which is this one. Very, very healthy.
Once caught, the Waura have a unique method of dispatching the fish.
You know, back home when I'm fishing for trout and salmon, and I want to keep one for supper, I dispatch it by using a thing called a preece, which is a small wooden truncheon. Bang it on the head twice behind the eyes, kills the fish. Here, with the Waura, they catch the fish and they bite it on the head, just once. Puts it to sleep permanently.
This is only one of a number of methods used by the Waura to catch fish. They even fish at night using torches.
In England, call this dogfish.
Dogfish.
Or snakehead. Well, wasn't expecting that one. Goodness, there's all sorts of varieties in this lake.
And while most fish are caught by hand, some hunters prefer the bow and arrow. And only the highly skilled can shoot fish this size.
Waura. Call this species the maluta.
Muluta.
In English, armor-plated catfish.
Ama, glade, besh.
Armor,
Ama,
plated,
bladed,
catfish.
gadbesh.
Perfect. It uses as a defense mechanism this extraordinary hard coating it has on the upper part of its body. It is literally rock hard. But if you turn it over, very soft, and very good to eat.
And of course, that's what today is all about, fishing for food.
You're all very good shots with the bow and arrow. Excellent, excellent. I caught that with a net, not bad. Mine's bigger than yours.
Also for you.
Very good. Now, today's fishing was not about size or design. It was about feeding families, putting food on the table, and using a very sustainable method. And we've got species here from peacock bass to snakehead. We've got matrinsia, kanatapa, and various other species. All very good eating. And you know what? There was a great sense of camaraderie today, and a lot of good banter, and a great sense of fun and togetherness. Everybody working as a team, young and old. And we really have enough for supper tonight. Great fun today.
After a great day on the lake, I've been invited back to the meeting point to have dinner with the fishermen.
Now, if you notice, it's mostly men in there. In fact, it's all men in there because the way of the Waura is that the hunters they eat first. And the women and the children, they eat second. Evening, guys. Something smells good. What we got here? Will do. We got a fish metse Waura style. What we got? So we got fish and manioc bread. Manioc being a very good carbohydrate, mixed with a good protein. Is there a meaning behind what you're wearing, and what do the tattoos represent that you have on your body?
Itu galio, iu identidade, documento eu, nessa cata ai tu eu. Até o itari, itapaio. Eu gaga anaga catani.
You're watching me today with the net. Do you think I could make Waura? Do you think I could be Waura?
Pequeno bitu carro. Hoje baba nhaui biti máquina pai, camani itabajan, pequeno bitu tawa pai, pequeno na pai eu, nessa bitu nhau pai.
And in the end, that's what fishing is about, especially here. It's putting food on the table. It's not a hobby for you guys, it's about survival. Been a pleasure fishing with you today. Real pleasure, and a privilege and an honor. What can I say? Been an extraordinary day's fishing. Beautiful community here. But the one thing I'll take home with me is that if you want to lighten the mood on any occasion, any time of day, you just got to go Waura.
I'm on the last leg of my journey, and this is the big one. The fish I travelled all this way to catch, the mighty Amazonian wolfish. I'm heading 850 kilometres and across the state border to the neighbouring Para to fish the legendary Rio Azul, or Blue River, an Amazonian anomaly. Most rivers of the Amazon are muddy and discoloured, but during the dry season, the Rio Azul waters run crystal clear, turning it into a sight fishing paradise. Getting to the Rio Azul is a proper challenge with rough roads, rickety bridges, and about 1,000 head of cattle along the way. Yes, this river is properly remote, but it'll be worth it if I land the wolfish of the Amazon basin. The wolfish, or trirau in Brazilian, is a big, ugly, dark, prehistoric monster. Highly aggressive with the temperament of a Rottweiler, this fish will fight to the bitter end. An awesome ambush predator, the wolfish is so well adapted to its environment that if its food sources run low, it can walk short distances on land to find a better pool to feed in. But when you're fishing in wild places, there are some things you can't control. I arrive at the same time as a huge weather front. Heavy rain is forecast, so I need to get cracking if I'm going to catch the big one. I quickly head out to meet my fishing partner for the day, Carlio Carvalho, a big river guru and local legend. He has made this river his home for the last 5 years and knows all the pools, eddies and secret spots. So if anyone can lead me to the wolfish, it's going to be him.
Good to see you. Beautiful morning, beautiful river, Rio Azul. There's an amazing amount of species in this river. We can get pacu, wolfish, there's piranha, there's bicuda. Carlau, why do you love the Rio Azul? What's so special about this waterway?
É como amar a vida. Amo a natureza, gosto muito da natureza, faço porque gosto. Ajudar a preservar isso para que nossos filhos, nossos netos vejam isso no futuro.
I tell you what, Carlau, this water, in England, we'd call this gin clear. You can see your targets. There's fish showing all over, various species, and they're surfacing, they're active. It's in the dry season, the water's low, which tells me one thing, they're hungry, and I'm hungry to catch one, so let's go. Excellent.
The Rio Azul certainly is stunning, and the crystal clear water is perfect for sight casting. So when I see a Brazilian giant, I should be able to put my lure right between its eyes.
Okay, we're going to start the morning by casting my lure and try different retrieves, but could catch anything. Wolfish, pacu will go for this. Of course, piranha, could get tucanare, the peacock bass, anything. And this water is so crystal clear. So hopefully they will see what I've got on the end, like it, and take it. Something had a nip at it there, I tell you.
Big freshwater predators like the wolfish need lots of oxygen to propel them on their attacks, and they expel so much energy they won't move for anything other than a big meal.
Now, because it's the dry season and the water is low, that means a lot of the fish on this river, this beautiful crystal clear river, are trapped and they can't move upstream or down. They're just stuck for a while. And when they're stuck, they get hungry. And we're just in a very, very large and deep pool. What you got to remember, most of the species in this river are competing for the same food. Can you imagine a barracuda, a wolfish, and a piranha all going for the same food source? I wouldn't like to put money on the outcome of that battle. But I tell you what, there'd be a lot of scars after it.
But despite the near-perfect conditions, I'm not getting any interest in my lure, and time is running out on my Brazilian quest to catch big.
Do you know what, Carlau? It's been a very, very frustrating week. You know, I've tried and I've tried, but I haven't really caught the big one. And to rub salt into the angling wound, I even was put to shame by a 13-year-old. Been a bit of an angling low this week.
Normalmente isso acontece às vezes. Normalmente vem pescar dois pescadores, um experiente e outro sem experiência nenhuma. E às vezes o que não tem experiência pega mais do que o que tem experiência. Pura sorte.
But if anyone is going to change that, it's Carliao. He's taken me to one of his secret spots, a deep pool beneath dense trees.
You beauty. Come to Robson, this could be it.
If I don't catch here, I might as well hang up my rod.
Oh, got one! Ah! Wolfish.
Trairão.
Trairão just went for my lure.
Yes, that was a serious inquiry from one of the most aggressive predators in the Amazon, the wolfish.
Yep. Yeah. Great take. This is Trairão, and he's a big un. Don't lose him, Robson. Told you we could catch some serious ferocious predators today. A fish I have only seen in pictures and read about. Never seen before, let alone caught. Ambush predator. Oh! And very, very strong. I've got a lot of tension on this reel. Oh! What a beauty. He's not ready. He's not ready. Oh, he's certainly not ready. What a fighter. That take was incredibly explosive. That's how they are. Fantastic. Okay, do you want to take the hook? And there you have, and I've got to handle it very, very carefully, what they call in these parts, the Trairão. About 4 kilos in weight. What a ferocious looking predator. Now they are probably a set of the most protective parents in Brazil. These will protect their eggs with their life. And there's been stories of dogs and other animals venturing too close to the nest of this fish and coming a cropper. I'd like to open it with my fingers, but I can't, because if I put my fingers anywhere near its mouth, they will be removed. Now, if the food source runs out in this water, what this amazing predator can do is go to the bank, climb out, and walk to another lake or river. It can not only extract oxygen from the water, but also the air. Fantastic! The wolfish of the Rio Azul. Get in! Ha ha! Good start, Carlau. You put me on the money, lad. Whew. And there's bigger ones out there. Bigger and even more vicious than that.
In these parts, wolfish can grow over 1 meter long and up to 40 kilos in weight. So it's time for me to go big, or quite literally, go home.
Look at that. That's where you need to cast. just below there. It's following, it's following. Yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, took it right on the money, straight away. Tell you what, this is Wolfish Central, and it's a lot bigger than the one I caught before. Oh, this is huge. Oh, beauty. Absolute beauty. There's a hell of a lot of tension on this reel, and it's still running. What a fighter. Oh, trying to run. Whew. Man. I mean, look at that fish. That is what Brazilian angling dreams are made of. All that traveling, all that heartache, all that exhaustion forgotten, because that is what I came for. The giant wolfish of Brazil. And you know what, in angling terms, it just doesn't get any better than that. What a thrill, what a creature. Unbelievable, remarkable, extraordinary. Well, looks like I caught that fish just in time because we have a serious weather system coming in, a storm of biblical proportions. And carbon fiber and lightning do not mix. I could be zapped, so me and Carlo are going to take shelter. But I caught. I came to Brazil, I caught in Brazil, and I conquered.
I came to find the best freshwater fishing on the planet, and boy, did Brazil deliver.
The shredding machine of Brazil.
I've battled with all kinds of prehistoric monsters in the wild and weird Pantanal.
I've caught myself a Caiman.
I've been rivaled by a fantastic young angler.
Whoa, my goodness!
And humbled by an indigenous tribe. But best of all, I can finally say I came to Brazil and I caught big in Brazil.
Look at that fish! My journey across Brazil has certainly been wild, sometimes weird, but always wonderful. And the people who fish the fresh water for food or just for fun are as exceptional and diverse as the creatures that call it home. Brazil. Colourful? Of course. Vibrant? You bet. And the fishing? What do you think?